Healing changes how you respond to people, not how you react to them. Everybody got a story, and most don't start making sense until you understand what they've been through. Big Bang. Perspective comes from listening, not judging. Most people aren't broken, they're just unheard. Big Bang. Accountability is where the real change starts. Big Bang. You can't grow if you never sit with the uncomfortable parts of yourself. This is one of the main things I'm going through right now.
Hold your applause, I ain't done yet. Immortality got me weary since Kobe died. I got this watch on my arm, but I'll never know my time. So my focus lies in my work, which got me in overdrive. I can't break for a day. I'm in a maze of my mind, I can't make an escape.
Say, man, so we back with another episode of Decoding Two Sides of the System. This is another episode of the Affirmation Run. Today we breaking down perspectives inspired by Big Bang and the power of listening, healing, and growth. Y'all, come on. It's that time. Listen. The Affirmation Run has been great. If you haven't, please go check out the previous episodes that I dropped. And I'm doing this because one day I am going to be on these platforms, going to be interviewed by these people who I look up to. And I can't wait to be able to replay this footage knowing that I put in the work right now. So all of 2026 and beyond, we getting to it. Y'all already know the motto before. Y'all follow me on Instagram. All right, first one, inspired by Big Bang. Everybody got a story, and most don't start making sense until you understand what they've been through. Listen, everybody got a story of pain, of triumph, of adversity that they had to overcome. But it doesn't make sense until you understand what they've been through. So nobody's going to understand what you're going through right now. Don't nobody see you right now. Like I'm grinding right now. Ain't nobody seeing these videos right now. But I'm going to continue to work, going to continue to push. And whenever I get to the top, then they'll do the work and understand what I've been through. And I think sometimes in life we have expectations for people to already understand what we going through. Like whenever we get to a point, they're supposed to be done respected you and they supposed to treat you a certain type of way, when in reality don't nobody truly know what you've been through. And a lot of times when you're going through those dark moments of questioning yourself and things like that, a lot of people don't see the moment, so people don't even know what got you there, what built you up. Them hard days of building bricks before you got to that house. Don't nobody see that. All they see is that finished product. And I think that in life, a lot of times we feel like if we work hard, people are just supposed to see and notice. But a lot of times people really don't care. They don't care how hard you work and they don't care what you've been through. They only care about the things that you can do that benefits them. And I think that's where the dynamic breaks, because you've been working so hard and these people, they don't respect what you've been doing because they're treating you a certain type of way. But they might not understand everything that you've been through. And it takes time for people to understand that. So when you out there and you chasing your dreams and you on your journey, understand that it's going to take time for people to understand the product of what you putting out. If it's content, you know what I'm saying? If it's cooking content, if it's fighting content, if it's 2K, all these different things to where people are creating a lane on, it's going to take time for people to understand you, because I call it, you got to build your book. Every day is a page added to your book, and every year is a chapter. You want to keep adding chapters to your book, so whenever they find you, you have the most chapters in that book so they can go back and watch to understand you fully. I think that one of the biggest problems we have in life is expecting how you would treat someone for them to treat you that same way, when they haven't been built through the things you've been built through. They haven't went through the triumph you went through. They haven't faced the adversity you went through. They don't understand how far you made it. And you can't expect them to treat you a certain way because y'all cut from different cloths. So please understand that, and understand that everybody has a story. So your story is important, But understand that everybody is going through something. Like, I had to get my head up, and I'm going through a lot right now. But everybody in the world is going through a lot right now. And at the end of the day, nobody really cares. That's why you have to have your true circle of people who care about you and cater to them people. Be loyal to them people. Be there for them people. Because at the end of the day, whenever they gone, it's a lonely, lonely road. Trust me, I'm learning that myself. So please understand that everybody has a story. That just because your life is hard don't mean that God has to bless you with everything you want. Don't mean that if you work hard, you're gonna just get everything you want for a year. Or like, it's gonna take time, it's gonna take years, it might take months, it might take days, you never know. But one thing I do know is if you don't work and give yourself a chance for an opportunity, you will never have the opportunity that you truly want. You only get the things that you work for in life. And even if things are given to you, you have to have a work ethic to maintain and be able to progress within those things. So please don't take that for granted. Shout out to Big Bang for this. And y'all already know the motto, man. Be different. The next one, inspired by Big Bang. Healing changes how you respond to people, not how you react to them. A lot of times people really have this mixed up, and it really makes me mad because a lot of people think that once you heal, you could talk to somebody a certain way or you can do a certain thing. And it's like, this is how you should talk to somebody if you heal. No. You can heal and still be yourself. You just healed in the ways to where the energy and the impact of that person that they had on you at one moment doesn't impact your energy and cause you to act out of your character that you grew into. That don't mean you have to change everything about yourself. And I think that a lot of people love to control people that are healing and growing by saying, oh, you should act like this, but you saying you healed, but you still treating somebody like this. Or you saying you healed and you can't forgive. That's the thing about healing. Whenever you're healing and whenever you're growing, the people that's around you that's not on the same frequency as you always have a judgment thing because you are doing the hard work. So they looking at you like, yeah, but you say you healing, but you do this. Like, they say slick comments when you really trying. And it's hard to like mentally take it because you really are trying, but you might just be having a bad moment. Just because you having a bad moment does not mean that your healing is fading. Does not mean that you didn't heal the right way. You just having a bad moment. Nobody on planet Earth is right all the time. Nobody is perfect. So understand that. Like, people take for granted the way somebody reacts to them whenever they say they growing, or whenever they say, I'm on a diet, I don't want to eat this. They talk about you if you do something, and that they might not even know that's your cheat day. But all the pressure of making you feel bad comes out. But you said you was on a diet. Look at you eating this. I knew you ain't gonna do that. Or they say things like, how you gonna say you healed, but you can't even talk to this person? I am healed. That's why I don't want to talk to that person. I forgave them, but I don't have to come and be in their face to forgive them. Listen, a lot of people think healing is what they deem in their eyes of healing. And what I mean by that is, if you somebody that's healing and you got a friend and then that friend is telling you, girl, you ain't healed because you supposed to be doing this. That person hasn't healed because y'all are two different people. The way she handles things is not the way you handle things. So how could she tell you how you supposed to heal? How can somebody tell you the way that you supposed to heal? If you choose not to talk to people, that's not you a bad person or you grown. You just don't want to have the conversation. Nothing is wrong with that if you healed and you feel like you've grown and stepped into your place. Don't let nobody impact the way you feel about your healing. Be different. Next one. Inspired by Big Bang. You can't grow if you never sit with the uncomfortable parts of yourself. This is one of the main things I'm going through right now. And it's very, very hard to literally have to sit down. I'm currently hurt. I can't do nothing. I literally have to sit down and think about all the decisions that I made that caused me to just even be hurt and just hurt other people and things in my life. And I understand this quote because a lot of times in life when you working and you doing so many things and you just continuing to push, you really don't be hearing the advice that people give you. You don't take the signs that God is giving you to slow down. You just going. But once you sit down and you realize how much you've hurt people, how much you negatively impacted people, how much that you've negatively impacted yourself because your focus is off. You doing things that don't coincide with who you are as a human being or your journey to your goals. Taking time out of your plan when you're supposed to be studying and working and producing content, you out there doing BS and you wasting your time. And as you waste these times, all these opportunities are getting taken, and then you're looking at other people and you feel mad that you don't have that opportunity. But it's because you never sat with them uncomfortable parts of yourself. See, a lot of people have a lot of uncomfortable parts about themselves, and we all deem ourselves as perfect. Like, well, I just don't understand why somebody can't understand this. But it's like, we're all not perfect. Somebody might be looking at you saying the same thing. And it's hard telling yourself that you're wrong. But whenever you can look at these parts and see the areas that you need to grow on and finally listen to people that's been giving you advice for years to tap into, that's when you'll truly grow, because you'll understand how bad of those parts impact your daily life. Like, gambling might impact your daily life in a harsh way that you might not even know. You might just think, oh, I'm placing bets and stuff. But them bets control your energy in your household. Now you mad around the house doing stuff. Then you mad at this. And that come from you losing bets and losing money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's drinking. Maybe whenever you drink, you don't listen, you be going crazy, you be trying to drive, and you scare your loved ones because they don't want nothing to happen to you. But you taking it as y'all doing too much. Like, so just those uncomfortable parts and uncomfortable conversations, I think that deems the most growth in a lot of areas in your life. If you can look at those uncomfortable parts and listen to the uncomfortable conversations, you will grow at an instrumentable rate. So shout out to Big Bang for that, man. Y'all know the motto on that one too, man. Be different. The next one, inspired by Big Bang. Perspective comes from listening, not judging. This is one of the main things. I think that every time in life, most people have a problem. The perspective comes from the listening, not the judging. A lot of people judge before they listen. Like, if somebody telling you a story and they say something, you judging them before they even end the story. And it's like you done missed the point of the listening, and then you don't take account into what is taking that person to be able to elaborate these things to you. But your perspective comes whenever you do listen. It doesn't come from when you judging, because if you judge from a perspective and you don't know the whole story, now your judgment is off. Then when you give your answer to them and they like, so you didn't listen to this and this, what you're doing is you're tarnishing somebody's ability to trust you with what they have to say. Like, you're burning their bridge of comfortability of the relationship that y'all have for them to express themselves. Because if they're telling you and they feel like you're that person, and then you kind of rub it off, or you not listening and you judging from a perspective that don't make sense, it makes them feel like, I don't mind if you tell me you wrong, but you judging me and you ain't even trying to figure out if I was right. And that's the problem. Like, a lot of times, a lot of people, history let them judge before they listen. And if you judge a person before you listen to them, you already cooked, because that might not be the same person. Like, if our taste buds can change every six weeks, what do you think a person can grow into in 6 weeks? What do you think a person can grow into in a year, in 3 months? Like, growth is instrumental. It happens every single day. So understand that your perspectives mean a lot, because even how you handle things within your relationship, your woman might give you a perspective that of her way, and you looking at it like, this don't even fit me or whatever, but you not even looking at it. Like, for instance, I had a friend the other day, and the perspective of what he got mad about, he asked me, and what he got mad about, his woman gave him a perspective of looking at it in a different way. And I had to explain to him, it's not that you mad. It's that if you react on how you want to react to this situation, you're going to be blowing things up for your girlfriend and her situation, for her to go do things because of how you reacted and the perspective that you have. You really don't care about this person. So don't let that negatively impact everything that you got going on, because then with you reacting to them, you think you handled that situation. Now you done messed up the situation for your woman. So all that does is come back on you 10 times harder because now she's uncomfortable. So in life, y'all, times we might not look at the perspective in our view and think our view is the right way, but we might look at the perspective and say, well, what do you think? And that person might give you something, it might make you mad. Like, man, I ain't looking at it like that. But you gotta tone yourself down, take some self-accountability, and try to see things their way so that whenever you respond in the right way. Even if you don't agree. I'm not saying agree on everything. I'm saying look at it from their perspective and then make your choice. Because I think a lot of times in life, we take for granted somebody that's giving us advice and giving us a different perspective. And we don't take it as like, oh, well, I'm going to do what I want to do anyway. Then don't ask people for advice. Be different. Next one. Most people aren't broken. They're just unheard. I love this one by Big Bank because there's a lot of people in life that's just broken people. And there's a lot of people in life that's struggling to get to a point where they can be successful, struggling to a point to where they can be seen, struggling to a point to where they can be loved. And it's a lot of just brokenness in that because they're broken by their situation, not who they are. So they're broken by the situation that they're in, not the person that they are. And a lot of people are in those situations maybe because they had kids early with the wrong person, made a mistake, or job search wasn't that good, or college just wasn't for them, or they was in the streets and you got locked up and you got to come back out. So, I think those are like the most unheard people because they're going through so many trials and tribulations. It's hard for them to be seen and heard and looked at fully for their value because they have so many things around them that tarnishes their light. And I think that that's a lot of stuff that's going on in the world today. Like the thing with either you're a 9 to 5 or you make up the money or whatever, a lot of people say you broke or broken if you a 9 to 5 person. But you can just be somebody that's unheard at the moment. Like all these people that we deem at the top had jobs before. They weren't broken people. They just were in a bad situation. And once they got seen and heard, they blew up to what they eventually was destined to become. So I think it's important to have that mental mindset of where you are at in life. If you are in one of these situations, these broken situations, it's a broken situation. You as a person is not broken. You as a person deserves to be heard. You as a person deserves to be seen. So please don't take that for granted. Be different. Next one, man. Inspired by Big Bang. Accountability is where the real change starts. No matter what you do in life, no matter what you're trying to chase, no matter what relationship you in, what job you work, accountability is going to always start and it's going to always end with yourself. And if you start taking yourself accountable in every area in your life, you have no choice but to grow. But that is the only way it starts. I've learned myself, I can't even fathom to want and dream about the things that I'm working for if I don't take myself accountable and grind every single day. I think that people take for granted the accountability of themselves more than other people. Like there's so many people in life that can give advice to so many people and show up in so many people's lives and be there for them, listen, help them, do whatever. Listen to they cry with them, all these different things. But you don't put all that energy within yourself and hold yourself accountable to grow. And that's a lot what people do. A lot of people overcompensate in other people's lives, giving energy to other people's lives instead of holding themselves accountable in theirs. And when stuff is falling out, you got all this advice for all these great people, but you didn't use none of that advice for yourself. And you didn't change because you never hold yourself accountable. Every time you had the moment or things happen, you brushed it off, or you didn't take it serious, or you separated yourself. So I think that accountability, and I'm speaking this from experience. I'm not preaching to y'all. I'm preaching to myself on this one. Accountability is going to always be the most uncomfortable feeling and thing that you'll ever do, because that's when you got to look at yourself in the mirror, and you can have a fresh cut, you can have clothes, you can do whatever you want, but you got to look within and say, am I really being the man or woman that I deem myself to be in my mind, that I want to be? Am I being the boyfriend that this woman needs me to be? Am I being the husband that this woman needs me to be? Am I being the father? Am I being the mother? Am I being the aunt? All these different things matter, because at the end of the day, it's led with accountability. And if you start with accountability, then your circle of people that surround you have no choice but to hold themselves accountable. You're going to hold yourself accountable to the level of friends to where your success is going to be. Your friend group will change. Your family time will change. Your phone log will change. Everything will change whenever you put that accountability first. And I think that this is a big one, because a lot of times in life, we're asking for things, but not holding ourselves accountable to go get them things. We're asking and praying for these big prayers, but are we truly working, holding ourselves accountable, doing everything we can to get those things? And I think that's the bigger question here. And I think that people don't understand that accountability is the only ability that allows you to be successful long term. Because if you don't have accountability, you're not going to have the ability to be consistent in the areas you need to elevate and be successful in. And being successful at the level that you want, deeming to what everything that you say you want and need, then that's going to require a level of accountability for you to be consistently grinding, consistently pushing yourself beyond your limits. And the one thing about accountability is it never is going to start or end in your comfort zone. So until you hold yourself accountable to doing the things that you hate to do like you love them to do, you're never going to reach the success you say you want. And shout out to Big Bank for that, man. And I'm going to end it on that one, man. Listen, perspective changes how you see people. Healing changes how you respond. Growth happens when you listen instead of react. If you haven't already, man, like, comment, and subscribe. We are not here to follow the crowd. We're here to be different. Shout out to y'all. This has been the Affirmation Run. I'm out.
Hey, it's your boy King Trey here with Decoding, Two Sides of the System. I've been telling y'all that I got a big announcement. Well, it's here. I've now partnered with my first deal with the Clap app. And listen, all you gotta do is use my link. Boom, it's gonna be here, it's gonna be here, it's gonna be here, all down here. Listen, click the link. If you got any videos that you want to make reels out of, if you got any podcasts, gym content that you talking, or anything, and you don't know how to make your own reels or your content creation, all you got to do is use my link, plug in your URL to your content, and it will make your reels for you. Listen, this is an opportunity for you to take whatever content you got to the next level. And with Clap, that's what we doing. We taking it to the next level. So I want to thank everybody that's been supporting me from day one, to all the people, all my new subscribers. Like I say, y'all not subscribers, y'all family members. The Be Different family is growing fast. And with the growth, we're now accomplishing new things. So I want to thank y'all for supporting me, growing with me. And listen, y'all make sure y'all tap in. I'm talking about, listen, I'm clapping. Hey. It's there. Use the link and let me know what, you know what? Forget all that. I want to see who got the best content. Use my link, tag me in the content, and I'm going to throw you on the pod. That's what we doing. I'm going to shout you out to all the family. Whoever got the best content, that make the best content using the Clap app is going on the pod, man. So y'all already know the motto, be different.